Here I am showing you a setup and how to play for a two-player game of Foundations of Metropolis. So you are going to have the game board set to the two-player side, which shows only the 7x7 grid. The other side does show only a 7x7 grid, but also has the other spots for if you have a 3 or 4-player game. You are going to sort out the cards of the deck, so only you have the 2+ player cards, not the 3s or 4s. You're going to shuffle them up. You're going to deal each player 6 cards. You're then going to make 3 roughly equal stacks to go to year 1, year 2, or year 3. If you want to be as close to equal, it's 13 cards, 12, and 12. Mix those numbers up how you would like. Each player is going to grab a player color. So they're going to grab the whole board. They're going to grab the markers. They're going to put their score markers and their population track on the spot of their color/shape. You're going to determine a first player. They're going to get the first player token. They're also going to get 5 coins. Then every person after them gets 1 more than the person before them. So it'd be 6 coins, 7 for a third, and 8 for a fourth. Then each player is going to look at their 6 cards, and they're going to take one of their markers and put it on each spot that they have a card for, forming a pile of the lots that they have next to their player board. So it looks something like this, and then each player will have 2 lot markers remaining. You're then going to set up the lots for sale by flipping over 6 cards from the year 1 deck. You're now ready to begin. So starting with the first player, on your turn, you are going to do one of 3 actions. You are either going to buy a deed, construct a building, or take income. If you wish to buy a deed, you are simply going to pay the amount that is above the price. So if I wanted to buy E5, I would spend 2 coins. I would take the card. I would put one of my lot markers on E5, placing this in my pile of my lots in case we need to reference it in the future. These would slide down and you'd flip over the next card. If you have no lot markers remaining, you are not allowed to buy a lot. Instead, you're going to have to take income or construct a building. So speaking of, to construct a building, you can take one of the buildings from your board and place it on here as long as you have the lot markers in the lot size that you need. So in this instance, I have these 2 here. So I could grab this 1x2, and then I could just place it where those are, bringing these back to my board to be able to be used on a later turn. Same thing with the 1s, the 4s, etc. You just need to have all of those lots available. Also, when constructing a building, you are allowed to construct over a previously constructed building. However, the new building needs to be bigger than the building you have in place. So I cannot take this 1x2 here and switch them out. I would need to instead then use one of my ones that are a size 3 and replace it. So for instance, if I had this lot marker there, I could place this over there. This comes back to my board, as would the lot marker. If by constructing over a building, you have a spot left, so this is a 3 space. So if I took my 4 and built over this, I would then take one of my lot markers and place it there where I had already had the lot to signify that I still have ownership of that lot. Then, after I have placed a building, I'm going to adjust my population marker if needed. For instance, this one has a 6. You can see it on your player board too. So I would take mine and move it to a 6. If I had, say, the 2 one here and I was at 2, and I place my 6 over this one, I would then still count my population, which is a 6, so I would just move the 6. It would not be 8 as I replaced the building that had the 2 population, so they do not combine. It is whatever you have on the board, which you can always check again by looking on your board. The final option is taking income. So this is the example board that I'll be using. When you take income, you are going to get 5 coins plus as much commerce as you're getting. So you can look on your board. That is 1 and 1. So I'd be getting 5, 6, and 7. And then these would just simply come to your supply to be able to be used on a future turn. You and your opponent are going to be going back and forth doing all of this until all of the deeds have been bought. Once all of the deeds have been bought, Then everyone, including the person who took the last deed, is going to take one more turn for that year, either taking income or constructing a building. And then you'll move to the end of year scoring. So the end of year scoring for years 1 and 2 are very similar. You are going to start off by gaining money equal to the value of your buildings on the board of the commerce buildings, which would be this income again. So in this instance, I would be getting 2 income. You're then going to gain points equal to the value revealed on your player board. You're going to see if you have any of these stars revealed. I do with the retail shops. So I would give myself 2 points. You're then going to look at the civic buildings, which are these buildings up here, and score them if possible. They're going to give you scores based on buildings they are adjacent to. This one is scores you a point for any building adjacent to it. This is a point for every 2 population on buildings next to it. So if it was next to this one, that would be 3 points as it has 6 people. This is 1 point per person, so a upgraded version of that. This is 1 point per building that it's next to. This is 3 points per civic building it's next to, 2 points for every money on a building next to it. That is 1 for every money, and then 2 for every civic building. So everyone would score the civic buildings, again, moving their prestige marker. Finally, you're going to look at residential buildings and the population marker. So I have just set this up for the example. Obviously, I don't have the residentials on here to put my population there. This is just for an example. You're going to see who's in the lead on the population track. In this instance, it's me with 7. I'm going to get 7 points plus the population bonus of 4 in year 1, which would give me 11 points. It is a population bonus of 7 in year 2 and 10 in year 3. Then, working backwards, the person who's in the next place is going to get points equal to what your population tracker is. So purple would be getting 7 points in this instance. Ties are friendly, so if we were both tied here, we would both be getting the 11 points. Once all of that scoring is done, you are going to refill the lot board with the next deck, in this instance, year 2. And then you'd be playing year 2 just like you did year 1. The end of year 2, you'll score it just like year 1. Then you'll refill with the year 3 cards. Then, once you are at the end of year 3, you are then going to get 1 point for every empty lot. So basically, if you have a marker here that hasn't been built into a building, you'll get 1 point for that. Your commercial buildings, instead of getting money, you are going to be getting points for every money. You're going to get points for any points revealed on your board. Civic buildings and residential buildings, again, with that added population bonus. Most points is the winner. So that is the basics of Foundations of Metropolis. Hope that gave you a good sense of how it plays. Hope you will please go ahead down below and hit like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell. Also, while you're down there, you can go ahead and join the channel where you can start seeing our videos early. Or if you want to shop for board games, you can hit up Miniature Market using our affiliate link down below, which gives us a portion of the sales that you do purchase while using that link. Alrighty, so build up the city, the city.